Hey, Motorman here from Ride Like a Pro. What you're looking at is my 2021 Street Bob 114. The color is Baja Orange. And if you're familiar with my videos, you know I have quite a few motorcycles. I purchased this bike just before I heard about the Electric Glide revival coming out. And, well, as things happened, I wound up with two revivals. And I also have several other motorcycles. So I've got to thin the herd, running out of room in my 3-car garage, and I decided to put this bike up for sale. I'm asking $16,800 for it, and that's going to save you over $3,000 what a dealership would charge you. If you go to Harley-Davidson's website and look up the price on this bike, it listed as $14,999 plus $400 for the color option. Another $795 for ABS. Freight is $390. And they have something now on their website under every motorcycle. It says surcharge, $300. In other words, that's just more money it's going to cost you. Most dealerships will charge you also $400 for what they call prep. And most dealers are charging a dealer fee that is just an additional markup of $1,000. That's for just about any Harley-Davidson motorcycle right now because, well, it's a seller's market. Bikes are in short supply, especially this one. This is a very hard bike to come by, depending on the area that you live in. And if you add tax to that, which you're going to pay the full tax amount on that dealer fee as well, you're looking at about $19,563 out the door. So I'm going to save you about $3,063. This bike also has Stage 1 Harley-Davidson tuner, so that if you want to add exhaust or any modifications to it, the tuner comes with the motorcycle. That's another about $399 from the dealership. I'm going to give it to you with the bike. There's no modifications right now to this bike. It's just as it came out of the showroom. In fact, you can't tell it from a bike that sits in the showroom. There's not a scratch or a mark on the motorcycle. If you're not familiar with the Street Bob, in 2021, they came out with the 114 motor. That's a lot of power for a bike that weighs about 650 pounds. This is the lightest of the new Softail models. The new Softails came out in 2018, this new chassis. It has an extreme amount of power. The torque is just amazing. This wasn't built as a touring motorcycle, but if you equip it with some aftermarket bags and a windshield or a fairing, it will make a fine touring motorcycle. It rides very nicely. I wouldn't call the ride plush. It's on the firm side, but the bike is a bobber. It was, of course, designed as an around-town motorcycle. You know, most people go for rides. They'll go on a 100 or 150 mile ride in a day, and it's more than capable of that. If you want a more comfortable seat, the aftermarket is filled with them. Here's the motorcycle without the passenger pad. By the way, in 2021, they came out with a passenger pad and foot pegs on the Street Bob. Normally that would cost you about $500. Comes standard with this bike. I'm showing right here without the passenger pad because I think it looks better that way. But the passenger pad and the foot pegs, of course, do come with the motorcycle. This is a very fun motorcycle to ride, mainly because it's got so much power. For a cruiser, it's not a sport bike. I'm going to estimate 0 to 60 on probably in the 4-second range, if you can keep that back tire from smoking. Because if you just open that throttle, that rear tire is going to start spinning. And anything below 20 miles an hour, that's what will happen. So you got to be a little bit careful. The ABS is a lifesaver. I wouldn't buy a motorcycle without ABS, and I wouldn't recommend you do either, because anti-lock brakes are the best invention they've come out with on motorcycles for your safety. Most people apply too much rear brake, and they wind up locking that rear tire and sliding into whatever they're trying to avoid. With ABS, that cannot happen. You could clamp down on those brakes, and it will stop sure and straight every time. So give me a call. Send me an email. The first person who comes up with $16,800 owns the motorcycle. I may have priced this too low, so get on it right away.